great realizing.
Have you noticed that YouTube, Instagram, and other social medias, they've been allowing certain types of content that would not have been allowed just a couple of years ago? Kind of strange, right?
Yeah,
to demonstrate this, here's a painting I did. It's a work in progress. As you can see, it looks like Jeffrey Epstein's island.
He really is unemployed. How the fuck did he,
but it's not Jeffrey Epstein's island, for legal reasons. This is just Celebrity Island.
Allegedly.
And on this island, you can see, we got Oprah Winfrey here, pre-Ozempic, Harvey Weinstein on her back, Benjamin Netanyahu, Obama, Ellen DeGeneres, there's hot dogs and pizza there, Stephen Hawking, Bill Gates we have here, lovely little Bill Gates, and here's the P. Diddy himself with old President Biden there sniffing his neck. And we have Tom Hanks from Castaway here, and if you know the Castaway ball and what the face represents,
Ball? Whoa! Ball?
If you're top G, you need your brother in content. Myron does content with his bro, even Neon farming his. It's time for You Are Brother to come in content.
There's a whole thing about that.
What'd you say? No, I'm not farming. No, shut up, dork.
You definitely can't talk about that on YouTube. That would get taken down straight away. But it's horrific. And then that's Bono on the end. And the man himself, Epstein there in the sky looking down on them all. I guess I'm implying that Epstein's in heaven here, which is kind of funny. And Jimmy Savile, if you know the UK law. And
Jimmy Savile was a rampant sex freak. You know, has a lot of pedo allegations, allegedly, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's, don't worry about that. That's Mahatma Gandhi. But anyway, that takes some explanation as well. Some of you might know some Mahatma Gandhi law. But yes, he belongs in heaven next to Epstein. Don't think about that too much, why they're in heaven. They're just looking down, okay? Now, you might notice that there's a few people missing. I was kind of waiting for the documents to come out, the Epstein list to be released before I added any more people. And my goodness, they got released yesterday. And let me just tell you, I'm going to need a bigger canvas, or I'm going to need a bigger canvas. You know, one of the prominent people missing, of course, is Trump. And I think he deserves a spot at this point. But yes, don't get too political about this. Like, just, you know, whatever, you know? Now, what if I told you there was a reason for all this? There's a reason that we are being allowed to share certain content that you couldn't share before. What if I told you there was a reason for this? You know, we are allowed to expose prominent people. We are allowed to share certain theories online at the moment that you couldn't do before.
Yitzka Rabinovich keeps spamming anti-Semite clown. Bro, I timed you out 5 seconds ago. I'll give you another choice. Look at my mods, bro. He's just been spamming, calling me an anti-Semite clown for like 30 minutes. Take an hour off. Come back and you can spam it again in an hour.
What if I told you there was a grand conspiracy, a grand plan surrounding this? Well, this is where I introduce to you David Goldberg, right? Now,
every time, bro, huh? Let's do the Wikipedia. Obviously, we don't even need to because last name, but that's fine. Let's go. David Goldberg. Which one? Gold. Let's see. Just to make sure. Wikipedia. Boom. Early life. Jewish family. There we go. Okay, got it.
Now, David Goldberg. Okay, any video about this guy is scrubbed off the internet, right? YouTube seemed to delete and destroy any video that surrounds his ideas. So we'll see. If this video gets removed tomorrow, you'll know why, right? If my channel gets completely nuked, you'll know why. Now.
And I know we reported this earlier. I know U.S. is issuing notice urging Americans to leave Iran immediately. I know. We know. We know.
He supposedly was a researcher that also had connections with the White House. And through that, he received information about a grand plan. And then he exposed this plan. What happened to David Goldberg after he exposed his plan? Well, he was found dead. Yes, he passed away, bless him. He was found by his neighbor foaming at the mouth, and police came, they took all his electronics, and that was that. All his videos, everything he ever posted online was scrubbed off the internet. It's almost like he never existed. Kind of strange, right? So what was this plan? Well, it was a 2-part plan, a 2-stage plan. Stage 1 was Project Pogo, and Stage 2 was Project Zephyr. They gotta think about better names for this. Pogo, whatever, okay. So, what was Project Pogo? Well, Project Pogo was basically, I'm simplifying it a lot. I can't really explain the plan fully, because if I do, it gets a bit, look, I've got to play with YouTube's rules a little bit. It gets a bit, shall we say, anti-Israel. That's all I'll say, right? So, stage 1 of this plan was basically building a list of people. A naughty list, yes. Now, how do you build a naughty list?
Continue this educational stream. Love it way more than the stupid monkey goy. Skip you try attempting love from Russia. If you guys enjoy this type of content,
be more active in the chat. Like the people spamming Jake Future dissing you, Refet, Cheezer, fart jokes. Just like, you got to override them. We need to like fight the battle in the chat. Because it wins every time. You know, the stuff that's intellectually stimulating, literally more people like. And then it's like the bottom of the barrel brain rot people who try to fart their way out of it. Like, no, I'm not going to let them win.
This content to spread, and then you could see who comments on it. You can see who engages with this content, who's engaging, who is liking this content. So maybe you watching this now, if you comment or like this post, you will be on the naughty list. How do you feel about that? I don't know, right? But another aspect of this is the idea of controlled opposition, that they can control the prominent YouTubers. That's the main aspect. David Goldberg uses the example of Alex Jones. You know, he thinks Alex Jones is controlled.
Whoa! Whoa! Hello! Hello! Pre-watched, man. Yo, do you see it clicked? I just found this guy. This dropped yesterday. When would I have watched this video? We just watched him for the first time. You just saw me. Look at the red bars. Look at the red bars. Get off my dick. I found the first video from a guy in the chat. Stop playing with me, bro. Don't make me go and lower myself and degrade myself and do monkey baddies for dorks in the chat spamming Osmond diss you. No. This is my calling.
By the CIA. David Goldberg, the prominent YouTubers. That's the main aspect. David Goldberg uses the example of Alex Jones. You know, he thinks Alex Jones is controlled by the CIA. Today, I would say, you know, you can think, a lot of people think Tucker Carlson is controlled by the CIA. His father was a CIA operative, you know?
Alex Jones, it says that his father was a barber for intelligence assets in the CIA.
You can think of all these people. Think about all these YouTubers that seem to just pop up out of nowhere, right? And they're just
What do you mean I pop up out of nowhere? What do you mean CIA? Shit, chat. I'm just trying to read a book. Yo, come back to streaming, bruh. Come back to streaming. She looking good, chat. A, B, D, C, E, R, G.
Really prominent, even though they have no charisma or anything. They just seem to be blowing up. Me, for example.
Oh, he's talking about you? Chad, I've been doing this. I started the SNEAKO channel in 2013. Like, stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me. My whole life is online.
Yeah, maybe I'm controlled opposition. Maybe I'm getting paid.
APAC!
Look, am I getting some APAC money? Look, actually, if someone does want to pay me to post stuff or something like that, look, I'll sell my soul. I'll do it. You know, I'll be controlled opposition. Whoa. As long as the money's good, I'll do it, right? I'm not...
No. What's wrong with you, bro? No. We need some real-ass niggas, man. Like,
I'm not joking. Okay, I'm joking. Moving on. So that's it. Pogo is building this list of naughty list people, using and allowing content to spread so that they can gain information on the people liking this stuff. Naughty list. Now, what is part 2 of this? What is the Zephyr plan? What is this? Well, once you have your naughty list, you've got to do something with it, right? So you gather your naughty list, and then you exterminate. Yes, we're just gonna kill them. That's the plan. See how it's kind of crazy, right? When you think about it, the idea of building a huge list and then extermination, that's a bit wild. But there's more to it than that. He says, David Goldberg says that actually only the prominent people would be, you know, the considered high-level, dangerous, autistic schizos. They would be the ones that would be
SNEAKO
taken out. The rest of them
SNEAKO, no pressure,
would be put in concentration camps or banned off the internet completely. That's the plan, right? That's kind of the idea, right? You watch too much Asmongold, you'll be put in the gulag, right? That's kind of the plan. That's the idea. Also, this isn't just a left-right. This isn't just a right-wing thing, right? You can think it's a left-right thing. They basically garner the data, they get the data, and they can see who's these extreme leftists, who's these extreme rightists. Both of them, we can just lock down. That's kind of the idea, right?
Hey.
But they need to build the list first.
Debunked.
Now, it gets even spookier because David Goldberg, he made a prediction. Now, bear in mind, he died in the summer of 2019, but he predicted that there would be a virus that would spread around the world.
COVID.
Now, I don't know if you remember, but a few months after the summer of 2019, something like that did happen. You know, his memory hold a bit, but I think something like that did happen, right? So that's weird, right? But the problem is, I think this story is a load of bullshit. I know, it's disappointing. I'm disappointed, but I have to be truthful about this. I think it's a load of bullshit for 4 main reasons.
Tell me.
I hate being a debunker. Debunkers suck, but let me just debunk this for you. Now, there is something to the plan, the Pogo plan and the Zephyr plan. I'll get back to that in a moment. There's something there, I would say. But the story of David Goldberg is bullshit. Number 1, There's no record of this guy ever existing. You can't find anything about him. Bear in mind, this is a researcher that had connections to the White House. And yet, there's no information, there's no friends or family that have come forward, nothing, right? Nothing. Now, people say that's evidence that they scrubbed the internet clean because what he was saying was so dangerous, but it's also evidence that he maybe never existed. You choose, right? Number 2, there would be links to a certain Bitcoin website and suggestions that you should donate using a certain website, right, with Bitcoin. Now, this turned out to be a scam, right? It was stealing money from people, and people lost a lot of money through this at the time. Now, it's weird, right? So it seems like this whole theory was just an elaborate plan to steal people's Bitcoin, right? That's number 2. Number 3, a lot of this was posted during the pandemic after his death by his friend that had the kill switch, right? So he was posting it on the behalf of David Goldberg. So the prediction of the pandemic, it kind of falls apart when it's posted during the pandemic. And number 4, he made a lot of crazy predictions. He said a lot of things that contain dates. And looking back now in 2026, we can see that a lot of this just didn't happen. So it kind of, certain parts fall apart, but he did make some predictions that came true. Like, he was talking about a war with Iran, but to be honest, a lot of people were talking about a war with Iran for the past fucking 20 years. So, but that doesn't mean that the plan, Project Pogo, creating a list of undesirable people, that, the naughty list.
Do you think I'm on that list, chat? Is that why I can't fly? I can fly, but I heard that I can't return to the country because I'm on some sort of list.
That reads true to me, especially now.
Yeah.
At the moment, these companies, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth, they have the power to moderate like they never had before, and yet they're not using it. Because now they have artificial intelligence moderation.
My ex-girlfriend texted me yesterday while I was streaming. Voice swap? Yeah. Okay, she texted me saying, do you think that you're going to get whacked? While I was streaming with Bryce Mitchell or Ian Cale, I can't remember who. I kind of got mad at that. Haven't texted her in a long time. Like from a long time ago. And
virgins for $500,000.
Yeah, no, Diddy's fine as diddle, you're getting banned, bro. I just don't allow negative thoughts like that. I was telling that to Steezy this morning too. It's like, if I do get whacked, hopefully it's while I'm doing something good, you know, and I come out. But I'm not afraid of that at all. Are you guys afraid of death? I think you'd only be afraid of death if you have something unresolved. But I operate with a clean heart, and I don't allow negative thoughts like that. If it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to happen. Who here is afraid of death? I think most people are saying no. Most people are saying no. I would say 10% yes. But yeah, if I were to be, something were to happen to me, I get the highest rank in heaven, hopefully, if I was doing the right thing.
Previously, they would have algorithmic moderation, and then they would have moderation teams to handle everything. Now, they have artificial intelligence moderation, which means they can monitor even a specific phrase, or they could read the whole tone of a video and decide whether it is good or bad, remove it. They have moderation like they've never had before. And yet, the floodgates are open. We are seeing content like,
from everywhere.
Again, pre-2016 kind of content.
Yeah.
Kind of strange, right? And then when you think about the idea that potentially some YouTubers are under the control of either the CIA or something greater, they have protection.
Chris Tyson? No way. No. Don't tell me Chris Tyson was a CIA operation to convince kids to start doing transgender operations and hormones. No! Don't tell me Chris Tyson was placed on the biggest YouTube channel in the world with the biggest child audience in order to get them to normalize transgenderism. No, I don't think that's true.
On them. That kind of rings true as well. I mean, recently the Epstein list came out yesterday. There was some YouTubers on there. I think there was this, I forgot what, is he Quebecian or French or something? I can't understand a word he's saying. But this guy, I forgot his name, I'll just put him there. He received $25,000 from Epstein. He brushes it off as if it's nothing, but you can go, wait there, if you take money off someone like Epstein owns you, right? What the fuck's his name? I don't remember. You already know that online platforms are being used to profile you. Social media is being used to profile you. You already know this, right? Think about it. When you scroll your phone, you'll see adverts tailored towards you. Now, that's a very basic thing that's been happening for a long time. It's algorithmic, right? But now, with artificial intelligence, they're able to profile you better than ever before. I guarantee it. Peter Kingsnorth, fantastic author, he said something along the lines of, artificial intelligence will know your child better than you. Think about that as a parent.
Think about this.
AI will know your child better than you. It's scary, but there's some truth in it. You don't know what your child's doing on your phone, on his phone and stuff like this, but the AI does. And the AI will be able to build a profile. Now, with this profile building...
Remember a couple of years ago, the World Economic Forum was saying, you'll own nothing and be happy. Nobody's going to own a home. We're all going to rent. We're all going to get our goy plopped on a little platter. Now they're saying AI is going to know your kids better than you. Just in 4 short years, look how quickly it's changed.
They can categorize us better than ever before. They can put you on a naughty list if they want to. Now, what they do with this naughty list, that's concerning.
Also, I was thinking about that when that club promoter, my former friend who publicly said that he banned me, helped get me banned from every hospitality group in America, and then invited me to a party 2 days ago. Looking back, I think there's a really high chance that's a setup. Not only, it could just be clout chasing. It could just be, but it could just straight up be a setup. Crazy to think about, right? A former friend trying to set you up. And everyone's saying yes. It's like, I really think it's 50-50, but even the fact that it's a 50% chance that a former friend is trying to set me up to either get me, or who knows, blackmailed or something. Isn't that a crazy thought to have? Like one of my close friends, I thought.
I don't know if they're going to execute people or put them in gulags or prison for saying certain things online. I mean, I live in the UK. That's already happening. I think in the UK, we have the highest level of imprisonment for social media posts, right? It's kind of crazy. So it's already happening where I live. But the more likely scenario is they're building a social credit score system. They are imitating China. You understand? The idea is if you post the wrong things or you like the wrong things on Instagram or something like this, you will lose social credit score. And then if you have a low social credit score, you won't be able to get a bank account, a mortgage, maybe even a job potentially. You won't get these privileges because you just have a bad social credit score. This is a common theory being spread online. Everyone knows this, but this is happening. We know this is happening, right? Potentially, right? What we're seeing is a mimetic rivalry between the old world leaders of Europe and America versus the new guys, China. This is mimetic rivalry. Do you know René Girard? He came up with this concept. He actually predicted this. He said China will rise up and become the mimetic rival of America because China has been imitating the American model for a while now, right? Pure capitalism with like a different structure. You try and explain what the China model is. It's kind of like a national socialism with heavy capitalism on the side, right? It's kind of strange. How would you categorize it? I don't know. But that's China, right? And that seems to be working very well. They are very efficient. And they are now like potentially the next top dog in the world. So America, Europe, they have to start imitating the China model because they can't not, because otherwise China will overtake them, right? So it's important for America to bring in some sort of social credit score system or something like this.
It's funny because we always try to differentiate ourselves and say China has no freedom and that we're just copying all of their methods to control, oh, communism's evil, and then take all their communist tactics to control the citizens.
Try and combat this new threat, this new rival. Think about that, right? Think about this as well, right?
Think about this.
I mentioned René Girard, the philosopher that came up with the mimetic rivalry concept. Do you know who was a student under René Girard?
Who?
And maybe a friend of René Girard, I think. Peter Thiel. Yes, Palantir's Peter Thiel. Currently a very influential person within America. He says stuff like this, that we need to imitate. He knows about mimetic rivalry. He knows about René Girard's theories of imitating China, going like a reverse imitation. He knows about this. That's kind of weird, right? Thinking about that. Anyway, I could go into Peter Thiel's philosophy for a while. There's more. Lots of people have done videos about him talking about the Antichrist, which, there's something there to that, actually. Anyway.
What?
Don't get me started on Peter Thiel.
Whoa!
Is that the only reason they are allowing the floodgates to open with all this content? I would say no. I think there could be more to it, right? I forgot what the term is, but it is called like flooding the water or something like this, right? So I think that's the term.
Quick, pause. Remember what he's saying. Quick detour. What does he say about
this? Is my very specific question for you, right? Is that you're an investor in AI. You're deeply invested in Palantir, in military technology, in technologies of surveillance, and technologies of warfare, and so on, right? And it just seems to me that when you tell me a story about the Antichrist coming to power and using the fear of technological change to sort of impose order on the world, I feel like that Antichrist would maybe be using the tools that you were building, right? Like, wouldn't the Antichrist be like, great, we're not going to have any more technological progress, but I really like what Palantir has done so far, right? Yeah, I mean, isn't that a concern? Wouldn't that be the irony of history? Would be that the man publicly worrying about the Antichrist accidentally hastens his or her arrival?
Why does he look like Mr. Beast, bro? I hate that. I like Jimmy, bro. Why does he look like Mr. Beast in 5 years? They have the same exact physiognomy. Am I wrong?
They're all these different scenario. I obviously don't think that that's what I'm doing.
I mean, to be clear, I don't think that's what you're doing either. I'm just interested in how you get to a world willing to submit to permanent authoritarian rule.
Well, but again, there are these different gradations of this we can describe, but is this so preposterous, what I just told you, as a broad account of the stagnation, that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety, and we've submitted.
Huh? Well, why did they cut it off?
5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist.
What the fuck?
For 50 years to peace and safety.
Whoa. Why would they cut the video right here? He just submitted what?
It's a broad account of the stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety, and we've submitted.
Oh, they cut it off to make it seem like he submitted to it. They just seem like he's... Okay, we'll watch something after that, but okay.
I'm not sure. The idea is that they give us all this conspiracy theory stuff, they give us all the information we want, and it distracts us from the main issues. This goes back to Occupy Wall Street. You know the Occupy Wall Street movement? Where people were actually looking at our at the corporations on Wall Street and realizing that they are consolidating wealth and they are the problem. That was what was happening.
The left always gets so close to naming it. They always get their like, free Palestine from Zionists. And the right wing is like, oh, free us from the globalists. And then you get this, and you got Occupy Wall Street. It's like, oh, you're just, one more.
The Occupy Wall Street movement. It was a horseshoe theory. Both the left and right both agreed they were uniting against this problem.
Yeah.
But what happened? Well, we had the culture wars. This was not a natural process. This was a planned process. We now know that with the Epstein files. We can see that certain things were happening. 4chan was influenced by Epstein. Maxwell was on the opposite side, influencing the Redditors. The culture war potentially was a staged thing. I would say it was. Like, all of a sudden, we forgot.
I'm saying everything with right and left, it's all just a side to keep you controlled and yelling at each other, keep you occupied with these protests and make you feel like you're doing something while the world keeps on changing towards a new world order. Stop getting emotionally invested in anything left and right. The Epstein files should be just enough to validate that claim that I've been making. Stop saying you're communist.
Certain ways of dying could be scary, I'd imagine. Drowning sounds pretty rough.
Drowning sounds pretty rough. Meaning, however you're gonna go. It's gonna be temporary.
About Wall Street, because we're now ranting about racial stuff and transgenderism and all this. We're ranting and start fighting each other again and ignoring the main issue. You know? That's one aspect of it, flooding the water, flooding us with information to distract us from the big issues. And think about this, right? The Epstein files were released just a couple of days ago, or yesterday, right? Think about that, right? What else happened? While everyone is looking at these Epstein files, what else is happening in the world?
Is he going to say Iran, or is he going to say the Grammys are here to control us, or is he going to talk about, I think, Iran?
Look around. Well, gold, gone. Bitcoin, destroyed. Silver, all the stock market is crashing around us. But no one's paying attention to it too much. No one knows what these corporations are doing at the moment. What's happening? Everyone's looking at the Epstein files and ignoring this problem. You can see it's a distraction technique. It's like Dubai chocolate. Do you know about Dubai chocolate? Have you noticed that there's Dubai chocolate everywhere? Like the chocolate with the green pistachio chocolate. It's nothing special, it's just chocolate. But it's everywhere, right? Do you know why that is? Well, if you were to Google or search for Dubai chocolate 5 years ago or a few more years ago, you would have come across something very different, right? You would have come across the idea of women going to Dubai and being used as human toilets.
That's a good point that he brought up, that gold and silver is also crashing in tandem with Bitcoin. That is one point for the people who are pro-crypto. You know, if people are saying that Bitcoin's controlled by Israel.
Was what rich Saudi people were paying for. They were paying to use women as human toilets. That was what a Dubai chocolate was, you know. But now, when you search Dubai chocolate, you don't see that. That's probably a really bad example. Anyway, that's a psychological operation by the Dubai Tourist Board to make you think that human toilets in Dubai is not a thing. It's actually just lovely chocolate they have. But maybe there's something even more sinister going on, right? Think about this, right? They're calling this right now, this movement online, the Great Awakening or Great Noticing. I know that has its own connotations, but think about it this way. We are becoming more aware of the system. We are becoming more aware of the corruption between government and business. We are becoming more aware of this. The Epstein files came out just yesterday, and we are seeing how corrupt the system is. And yet, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. No one will be arrested. No more people will go to prison for the Epstein files. And things will just continue as normal. Right, yeah, sure, maybe a few reputations have been ruined, right? But in general, it just creates confusion. Like, who was, who wasn't part of it, that sort of thing. And it's a distraction. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's demoralizing, right? It's the great realization, I think people are calling it. The great realization that there's nothing you can do about it.
That's absolutely true. Can't do none about it, but try to be better every single day. Stay prayed up and try to get closer to God right now. Excited for Lent coming up, excited for Ramadan coming up. That's all we can do. What else? Are we going to beat them? No.
Kind of horrible, right? But maybe there is something we can do about it. Maybe there is. Well, I can't think of what it is right now. But I think there's an actually, there's a scary element again. It gets scarier again, actually. I just remember, right? Think about this, right?
Think about this.
Okay, fuck. Yeah, think about this. We are seeing the government, and we are seeing how corrupt it is. We are seeing all this stuff going on, and we're like, oh, no one trusts their government. Everyone hates the government, right? So maybe that system is corrupt and needs to be replaced with a new system.
A new world order.
And that's where, who steps in to fill that role?
So maybe they want us to distrust the government so that the one world government, aka Israel, can control all of it. The one that they've been begging for, the World Economic Forum.
Well, we have the ideas of the Dark Enlightenment to think about, right? The Dark Enlightenment says that actually we should not have this archaic voting system where nothing changes and we have these corrupt politicians. We should have a technocratic feudalism of some kind where
really
actually
liking these informative streams. Maybe drop the sneak dissing everyone like it's a joke and get allies in the industry.
Sneak dissing.
Raise the bar.
Make jokes, bro.
Level
they
up.
Also make jokes. Shut up.
And people in control of artificial intelligence and these large techno company things, you know, Oracle, for example, they should manage things. And that way it becomes a fair system, right? That kind of thing, that could be happening. We could be looking at a huge psychological operation to make us think that our governments suck, which they do, they all suck. But also as a way of saying we should replace this with a artificial intelligence of some kind. Or we should replace this with, you know, CEOs would be a better leader than a elected official. That could be happening. And then who would fill that gap? Well, it would be people it would be like corporations would fill the gap of governments. And that makes sense as well when you think about it, because YouTube, Instagram, all these social media platforms where that is feeding us this information, they are partially owned by the big business. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. They have percentages of all of these companies, and they work together. So yes, BlackRock maybe has 7% of Instagram stock or Facebook stock, right? Something like that. But then when you add State Street and Vanguard together, they own a majority share of Facebook or anything like this. They own it, and they work together for business. Works with business. Money passes hands back and forth. I'm going on a crazy rant now, but you know what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? There's so much going on at the moment, and you have to start questioning why are they letting us see this stuff where they wouldn't before. Maybe you have your own theories on this, right? Maybe you have your own theories on this. Please let me know. Sorry if this video kind of sucked. That
was great, man. He's back to back. I really like this guy. Did he make this one too? Well, I'm not going to watch this one. Oh, he did. Was he saved by an AI god from the future? Okay, that's a little bit schizo.